Welcome to TV2 Sports Talk on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable. I'm Bill Morgan, your host, and this week taking a look at local college athletics, usually the focus of our show, and our play-by-play coverage, high school athletics in and around Tuscarawas County. But coming up on this week's edition of the show, we'll be talking with the new athletic director at Kent State Tuscarawas, Rob Brenly. The Golden Eagle athletic program is expanding and expanding rapidly as we march toward the 2016-2017 athletic and academic year. And we'll talk with Rob about the new sports they're adding, new opportunities for athletes, and more, all as TV2 Sports Talk for this week continues on DMG Channel 2 here on Time Warner Cable.
I think the hands-on aspect is going to give you an opportunity to explore, find out what you're good at, what you like, and you're not going to have mountains of debt. What you're going to have is a marketable skill that even if you don't love it, you can use that to pay to go on to college and get that degree. And we've got a number of students that do that. They're very mature. I think we're a great hands-on exploration base.
Hi, this is Heather, the Garden Girl, and I am so excited to be able to announce to you guys, the viewers, that I have now opened the Garden Girl shop. Well, where are you going to find me at? It's real easy. I'm located at 1881 7 Mile Drive, tucked in behind the Point Cafe. So come visit me Wednesday through Fridays from 10 to 6, Saturdays from 10 to 4, Sundays from 11 to 3. However, if you see the big garage door up, that means I'm here and you are always more than welcome to stop in. Also, don't forget my priority is educating you guys, so stay tuned for all my make and take workshops where you can come in, learn, get your hands dirty, and head home with your very own projects. Can't wait to see you.
Welcome back to TV2 Sports Talk on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable. I'm WJER Radio Sports Director Bill Morgan. Happy to welcome in on TV2 Sports Talk a guy who wears a lot of hats in our community. He's one of our WJER sports broadcasters. You've seen him occasionally on TV2, and in his full-time role at Kent State Tuscarawas, he is now the athletic director there, which builds in addition to some of his other roles at Kent State Tuscarawas, Rob Brenly. And Rob, before we talk about the expanding athletics at Kent State Tuscarawas, tell us about your new role in guiding that program, thanks to Dean Brad Bielski.
Well, Bill, he put his faith and confidence in me, and we're going to head up the athletic department, of which we have only carried 3 sports in the last 12 years, and we're going to expand that to 12, maybe a couple more, just working with several coaches on expanding the athletics. So my job will be, of course, hiring coaches first of all, getting out there with the coaches and recruiting students to come to our campus and telling them about the opportunity that they would have athletic-wise and academic-wise at Kent State Tuscarawas, and then building the programs from there, and hopefully working with the community too on some events that we're having, and building athletic fields that the community and Kent State Tuscarawas can share. So that's really big stuff.
Rob, when we talked with you and Dean Bielski out on campus a couple of months ago, you guys were petitioning to become members of the United States Collegiate Athletic Association. I know you recently accepted into that organization. What does that mean for Golden Eagle Athletics?
Well, Bill, that means the world. Every young man, young girl's dream is to play in a national championship. And this is another vehicle that we can get our students to that point. The USCAA has dual members who are NAIA and NCAA members, like Rochester College. Kent State, the Kent campus plays them in basketball. We're playing them too. Berea College down in Kentucky, very good athletic program, very good football. We're going to be playing against them. That's what we want to do. We want to step up the competition by leaving the Ohio Regional Campus Conference for the USCAA. They have All-Americans, they have academic All-Americans, Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, Coach of the Week, Player of the Week honors. They do the same exact thing that the NCAA does as far as eligibility and also awards. We're going to let our students be part of that, but we're going to up the ante a little bit. We're not going to follow the guidelines NCAA establishes for athletic eligibility, which is a 1.6 for a freshman. We feel that if you're coming to Kent State Tuscarawas and you want to persist to get a degree, we have the line at 2.0. So you have to be a minimum of 2.0 to be eligible and a full-time student at our campus. No part-time anymore. This is real stuff, just like real big college material, and that's how we want to treat the program.
Rob Brenly, the athletic director at Kent State Tuscarawas, our guest on TV2 Sports Talk this week on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable. Rob, you mentioned in recent years, really, it's just been 3 sports, men's and women's basketball and men's golf, and obviously all that's changing. We're going to dive into those sports themselves coming up a little bit later on in the show, and the men and women you're hiring to lead those sports. But when it comes to opportunities for student athletes, I guess how will you go about, you mentioned recruiting along with the coaches, trying to find student athletes. How does that whole process work as you guys really began a new program?
Well, Bill, we started, as you know, you were part of an event back in March, I believe, when we invited 70 schools, athletic directors, boys and girls basketball coaches, golf coaches, volleyball coaches to join us for the rollout of our campaign to join the USCAA. Now that we're full-fledged members that they announced last week at the annual conference in Richmond, Virginia, we're going full force at this thing. We've had a lot of inquiries, and Lori Donnelly, our Director of Enrollment Management, says, boy, I don't know what's going on, but we've had a big increase in transfers from other junior colleges and such. I think the word's out there that, hey, here's another vehicle for me to play athletics. It's been a very good program. Basketball was brought back in 1991 for the men, and the women followed 3 years later. And then after I started missing a couple of my daughter's 5th grade, she was a 5th grade or 8th grade basketball game she played, I said, I need to find a different sport, so I started the golf program. Now I've been coach of the golf team for 12 years. But as we roll this out, we're going to host an athlete reception, and for athletes at our campus, also invite the coaches, along with our coaches who will be representing our campus and their programs at our campus. And we're just going to invite everybody, and we're going to show them the athletic, the academic programs at our campus, what the benefits are of being members of the USCAA, which is pretty much in line with the NCAA. Boy, if you can't get excited by watching UCSB jack a 4-run grand slam in the bottom of the 9th against Louisville, that's the kind of excitement we want to bring, because we're going to have baseball and softball too. We want those top-notch players, and the players who may not have gotten their shot, come on out, try out. You never know where you're going to make your mark. We have a couple coaches who told me they took their cross-country team and then took some athletes who weren't their best cross-country people and put them in track meet events like the 5,000-meter steeplechase. They turned out to be one of the top runners in the country at the USCA level. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for dedicated athletes, and as you know, Bill, I think a wise man, I think his name's Tom Farbizo, told me one time, he said, athletics is the biggest learning classroom that we have. And it is, because you learn how to work as a teammate, you learn how to work as a team member, pulling your weight so you don't let your teammates down. You work hard, you work as a group, and you move yourself through, and you expect nothing of the best, and that's what we expect from our student athletes. Student is always mentioned first.
Rob Brenly is the athletic director at Kent State Tuscarawas. As you can hear Rob talking about, athletics expanding at the campus on the east side of New Philadelphia. And coming up, as this week's edition of TV2 Sports Talk continues, we'll get into specifics with Rob in terms of the sports they will have the 2016-2017 athletic year, who will be coaching those sports, and what to expect as the Golden Eagles move ahead, all when TV2 Sports Talk rolls on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable.
Well, I woke up to the sound of silence and cars were cutting like knives in a fist fight. And I found you with a tear in your eye, your head in the curtains and heart like the 4th of July.
You swore and said, we are not shining stars. This I know, I never said we are. If you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet on the ground. Carry on.
WJER and TV2 would like to introduce you to a new website, WJERTV2.com, where you can watch exciting high school football, soccer, and volleyball replays from TV2 Sports on your home computer, smartphone, or tablet. Also watch the latest episodes of TV2's original programming, Sports Talk, The Garden Girl, The Not So Shy Chef, Off the Record, and Medical Minutes, as well as catch up on local community news and search for local businesses. So make sure to check out the new WJERTV2.com community website where everything's local.
You're watching TV2 Sports Talk, your home for television, high school sports, and other great regional sports as well on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable. I'm Bill Morgan. This week, with high schools being out, we're talking college athletics and expanding college athletics at that with the new athletic director at Kent State Tuscarawas, Rob Brenly. Rob, we mentioned in the opening part of the show that you guys had a limited amount of team sports over the last couple of years. That is expanding, and you, along with Dean Brad Bielski, really expanding and growing that quickly. Tell us about the team sports headed into next school and athletic year.
Well, Bill, you know, we'll be continuing on with men's and women's basketball as well as men's golf, and we're going to add now women's volleyball for the year coming up, along with bowling, along with men's and women's cross country. That will be happening this fall. All those sports will take place this fall. For the spring, we haven't ruled out yet. We're probably going to have track. Our coach, Mark Allball, I'll throw his name out there, who is a Hall of Fame coach from Claymont High School. He's in the Hall of Fame for track and cross country. We'll field a distance-only team for track in the spring. So that's a sport we haven't even talked about yet. But being at the convention, the coaches there showed the Dean Bielski and I how you could build a team from scratch basically with only several runners, and then over the course of then that spring recruit your sprinters and your field events people. So that's something that we're looking at. We also have softball on the docket. Have yet to interview some baseball coaches, even though I have several coaches in the area who want to come and coach. But softball still could happen. Still negotiations with the coach there. Wrestling, we have secured a coach. It'll be Kyle Warner from Claymont High School. He's an assistant there. Kyle was an all-state wrestler all 4 years, made it to state 3 years in a row. He'll be coaching the wrestling team. Unfortunately, a little bit too late to field a team for this fall, so we're looking at fall 2017 for wrestling. Aaron Shanklin will head us up in bowling. Aaron put on his Facebook that we're going to have bowling, and he said he had 2,000 hits over the first week of posting that on Facebook. So a lot of interest with the teams that we have in our local area.
Rob, as you talk about the sports and some of the folks who will be leading those sports, you mentioned Mark Allball and Kyle Warner along with Aaron Shanklin. Give us the head coaches in your other sports. I heard there's some guy named Brenly coaching men's golf.
I don't know how we got stuck with that guy, but yeah, I've been the golf coach at Kent State Tuscarawas for 12 years now, and the past year we have an enormous amount of success, Bill. We won 7 out of 8 tournaments that we played in this last year. The one we didn't win, we only finished 3 strokes out of first, and we won the Ohio Regional Campus Conference state tournament. So real proud of my guys. They really work hard. They do it for the love of the game, and I'm glad they were able to put up with me being their coach. For basketball, the men's side, we have Craig Moore. Craig coached a lot at Connaught Valley, has some experience. He's from Strasburg, Ohio. His team was 18-4 last year, so against a pretty good schedule, but he's going to have to step it up, and he knows that, and he's had some great inquiries. And Amanda Marino, a young lady who I had the pleasure of coaching on the women's program when I started the program back up down at campus in the early 90s. She coaches the women's side. They end up 500 last year at 12-12. But she's ready to go and get after it, and boy, she sees nothing but big things, as all our coaches do. They say they dream too. It's not just the students out there who we're recruiting. These coaches say, gee, we can play in the national championship, and I'm looking at them and thinking, I'm saying, you know, softball, cross country, and volleyball, all next year, the national championships play in Virginia Beach. The golf team, I might add, automatically qualifies because we've had success just like we had this year. We will be playing the first week of October at Penn State University on their blue course for the national championship, a 2-day event. So really looking forward to the opportunity.
Golden Eagle Athletics all growing at Kent State Tuscarawas, talking with new athletic director Rob Brenly about just that. Rob, if there are athletes in the area, whether they are young men and women that just graduated from high school with the class of 2016, or maybe they're currently enrolled at other colleges and not playing athletics because they thought, hey, I'm not going to have that chance, and now they hear about growth back at Kent State Tuscarawas, how can they reach out to you or other folks at campus to find out more?
Yeah, why play on a club team, right? Come play on a varsity sport team. You're going to get a varsity credit for it, just like they do at the big schools. Bill, they can feel free to call my office. The number there is 330-308-7433, or they can send me an email. I haven't been in the office because I've had this shoulder thing going on, but they can email me. My email is rbrindle, so it's RBRINDLE at kent.edu, and I've been working by email back and forth. I was working with a couple of the coaches today. Happy to answer questions. We're getting inquiries as far as Lake High School, a young man named Reese Sabo who wants to come play baseball for us, and we don't even have a coach yet, but you can see, Bill, the level of interest is already there.
Growing, to be sure, at Kent State Tuscarawas. I'm Bill Morgan, and Rob, as we wrap up this part of our conversation, we talk about the student athletes being interested. When it comes to growing athletics at the collegiate level, there's always the need for funds. If there are businesses out there, individuals out there who are either Kent State graduates, Kent State Tuscarawas graduates, and they like to reach out and try and help you guys make this a reality, you're always looking for sponsors and boosters.
We sure are, and you know, we had our food truck invasions on our campus, and well, that'll continue in the fall. That was for the golf team, but it's going to change. It's going to be an event for Kent State Tuscarawas Athletics. Made a number of contacts there from Transamerica, Todd Trickle in the area. He's from Independence, Ohio. He wants to be a part of this thing and wants to know how he can fit in to being a sponsor, even if it's just not a team. How can I get my name behind you guys, and how can I support you? Those are the kind of things we need. We need the community members to help support us as well, but Dean Bielski and our foundation board of trustees has committed themselves to athletics at our campus, and they said if we don't have the money in the coffers at Kent State Tuscarawas, we're going to help you find it.
Kent State Tuscarawas, as you can hear, athletics growing, to be sure, as they head into the 2016-2017 year. Coming up, as TV2 Sports Talk continues on DMG Channel 2, we'll talk further with Rob about Golden Eagle Athletics coming to Kent State Tuscarawas on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable.
Just wanting to be a police officer, I knew this was a great start, and it turned out to be a fantastic one.
Just be able to actually see what you're doing, what you're working on, and understand how you can take one thing and turn it into something else.
We got to creatively use skills and academics and see how we can place them into our fields.
It was pretty much I had the key to open the door, and that was from Buckeye.
Searching for quality bottled water? Call Crystal Springs Water Company. Crystal Springs Water is a family-owned and operated company that's been proudly serving the community since 1986. Crystal Springs offers a quality bottled water in a variety of sizes to suit your everyday needs. They also carry a selection of water coolers, cups, bottle racks, hydro pumps, and premium water softening salts. All available for pickup or delivery. Call Crystal Springs Water Company today.
TV2 Sports Talk on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable. I'm Bill Morgan. Normally our focus is on high school athletics, but with the 2015-2016 school year being out, we're taking a look at local college athletics with the new athletic director at Kent State Tuscarawas, Rob Brenly. Rob, I guess tell us something about some of the inherent challenges, I guess, if you will, in getting this program built and growing. You mentioned you have 3 sports to begin with, but certainly there's a lot of legwork to be done as you grow and expand teams and programs.
Well, Bill, there is. You know, it's not just getting to the people who are interested, it's getting to the people who might be interested that don't know yet. That's the whole problem, and we know that we'll probably take our lumps for the first couple of years, but once we get the attention of everybody, and the athletic director at our campus, that's his responsibility. I've got to get out there and talk to the athletic directors and coaches, and that's what I was referring to earlier. We're going to have an athletic reception at our campus this fall, and then one in the spring again to catch those spring athletes that maybe don't play fall sports. So we really need to get the word out to everybody. And, you know, it's all about relationships, you know, and you being in TV and radio, you know that. And working with people and, you know, making sure that they have the information and know who to contact. So there's no question mark there. You can go to our website and it's all over, everything on our website. And I was talking to Pam Patak, our marketing director, and she said since we have added the USCAA, the number of hits that our web pages have taken, the athletics part has grown exponentially higher than any other part of our website right now, except for the applications for all those transfer students who are coming. And we're talking about high school athletes coming to be college athletes, and you said that the show is mostly about high school athletes. We are talking about high school athletes who have that dream and that desire to go on and further their career in college athletics, and that's what we want to give. We want to give them a positive experience, Bill. We really see that this really ties into a sense of community, not only being in our community, but being in the community. We want to have our student athletes have a high school focus. We want them to go out and visit the high schools. We want them to go visit the grade schools. And we want them to be a resource to show students that you can be an athlete, but you can also be a student and you can be a human as well. Not everybody gets put up on the pedestal. I mean, everybody has their level, and we believe that joining the USCA, our ultimate goal is to get to NAIA status. That's where we really want to go with this thing.
And Rob, when we talk about growing athletics at Kent State Tuscarawas, you're not talking about finding athletes and stealing athletes away from Ohio State and Penn State and Florida State, and nothing wrong with young ladies and young men who may have that opportunity, but you're looking for people who want to compete past the high school level because, as you well know, covering high school sports in this area for WJER Radio, you've done work for the Times Reporter in years gone by and here for TV2. A lot of people would like to continue collegiately, but let's face it, the Sea Grants that go to Ohio State and things like that are few and far between, and this is a great opportunity. And even if you scale that down, Rob, and say how many people in this area go and compete for Kent State in Kent or Akron or Ohio University, you have to be an athlete of outstanding proportions, which is no disrespect to any of them. We have great high school athletes here. We do. But the number of Division I athletes that come out of a county of Tuscarawas, which is where most of your athletes will come from, really, the D1 athletes, they're few and far between, but boy, we've got a lot of folks who would like to continue competing and doing it well at the collegiate level.
You speak the truth there, Bill, because a lot of the younger men and young ladies will not go to Ohio State, but they think they can go to a D3 school. But the impediment there to like a player like Cole Taylor at Cambridge is the money. Can't afford the tuition even with the scholarship that he got. He's been in constant contact with our coach. He may be coming to our campus and play. Cole Taylor was a really good rebounder and three-point shooter, set a record actually this year for Cheryl Weber at Cambridge. Those are the kind of people we're looking, those people who can't find their fit for one reason or another, those are the kind of people that we want. If someone who doesn't want to go to Ohio State and wants to come to our campus more, we'll welcome them open arms, that's for sure. But you know, this is the opportunity for those people who think they do not have that opportunity to play or can't afford the tuition, because we're paying state tuition. Let's face it, when you have an athlete that wants to go to Otterbein and he's going to pay $38,000 to $40,000 a year, and even though they give you $15,000 to go there, you're still paying a good chunk of money when you're looking at full-time tuition on our campus being less than $6,000 a year, and we might give you $1,500. But in comparison, the percentage that you've got from us to pay for tuition is way far and above anything that any other Division III or any other school could give you.
And Rob, while our focus today is on sports as we come to a close, I know one of the other things Dean Bilski is interested in expanding, and he's already got it working for the fall semester. Athletics, yes, but he wants Kent State Tuscarawas. You talked about being in the community and being a part of the community. He's expanding the music operations there in terms of a band and a choir. He wants it really the image, which honestly to some degree is still there, of coming here for 2 years and then going to Kent State main campus or taking your talents to Akron or wherever. He wants it to be people's home for 4 years if possible.
Yes, he does. And his commitment to not only athletics but education on our campuses is overwhelming. The people are just like standing on their heads with enthusiasm, if you will, Bill. I've never seen a group pull together and want to work for someone as much as I've seen Dean Bielski have such a quick effect in only being at our campus for 2 years. It's just amazing the things that he has done. The USCA really affords us this opportunity, Bill, because the Penn State University Regional Campus System is the biggest conference in the United States Collegiate Athletic Association. We are different than a four-year campus, and they know that, and they treat us that way. I'll give you a quick example. NCAA says you're a senior. If you can't be full-time enrolled your senior year, you can't play athletics. What happens if you only have 2 classes left? Should you have to take 2 more classes to fill out your last year of eligibility? The USCA says no. You could be a part-time student your last semester or take classes, say at a start campus of Kent State for 1 semester if you can't get all the classes you need at our campus. And you can do that and still play on our athletic teams.
Rob, thanks so much for your time and best of luck to the Golden Eagles as things continue to grow and expand.
Bill, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And you know, everything that you've done for high school and hopefully now college sports in Tuscarawas County has really been appreciated. I really appreciate being a part of TV2 and WJER.
Rob Brenly, the Director of Athletics at Kent State Tuscarawas, on this week's edition of TV2 Sports Talk on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable.